With the introduction of Service Pack 2, V-Ray for SketchUp version 2 acquired some new and extremely powerful preset tools that can be used on any commercial or non-commercial projects that we like. These come in the form of a new V-Ray Express download that can be accessed once you have logged in from the download section of the Chaos Group website. Now, although I'm not going to walk through the installation of these tools here, given that it is a very straightforward process, what I will do is quickly show you how to access the new presets that the install makes available. To take a look at the first set, we need to come to the Window menu and open up the Components dialog. Straight away, you can see that we now have a V-Ray Components entry, which if we click, reveals a number of preset libraries, namely HDRI, Studio Lighting, and Studios. In the HDRI section, what we get are actually a number of dome light presets that already have HDR images attached to them, with the preset name giving us a clue as to the kind of look that we will be getting from the lighting setup. In the Studio Lighting folder, we get access to a number of preset lighting rigs, all of which offer a variety of lighting options using both the rectangle and spot light types. If any kind of product visualization is our thing, then these can be a brilliant way to kickstart our lighting setup, and indeed, if we come into the Studios folder, we can see that these light rigs are actually complemented by the inclusion of quite a few geometry options that offer a variety of studio backdrops against which we can render. And of course, we can mix and match any and all of the preset options found here in order to get our scenes off to a flying start. Although these are by no means the full range of presets that come loaded with V-Ray Express. If we open up the SketchUp Materials Editor, you can see, as I access the Materials dropdown, that we also have access to a whole raft of V-Ray for SketchUp material preset folders. And indeed, inside each of these, we gain access to a whole range of materials that fit within the overall type described in the folder title. If I, for instance, come into the Velvet folder, you can see, as I hover my mouse over the various materials housed here, that we have a range of options from which to choose. To show just how easy it is to use these materials, let's double-click to open up the group for our left-hand curtain geometry, select the Velvet Red material option, and then click to apply that to the selected curtain. We will, of course, want to do the same for the curtain on the right, so let's switch to the Select tool by hitting the spacebar, double-click the curtain geometry, select the red velvet material, and then once again click to apply. We will naturally want to take a test render at this point, so let's come to the Edit menu, use the Close Group command, and then hit the Render button. Now, of course, we may be very happy with what we get straight out of the box here, and so can move on to working with another material in our scene. Although, of course, the chance of any preset material working just as we want it is pretty small. For that reason then, we will be glad to know that if we just open up the V-Ray Material Editor, we can see that our velvet material has been added to the scene materials list and is ready to be edited and tweaked just like any material that we might create from scratch. As an example, we may look at the reflections of the material in our render here and feel that they are perhaps just a little too strong. So let's drop the reflection control color down to a value of 60. We might even feel that they are also a little too defined or clear, and so we could come to the Materials BRDF section and switch the BRDF type from Blinn to Ward, which will spread or diffuse our reflections much more widely. We may even want to speed the material up a little in the testing phase here by dropping the reflection glossiness subdivs down from 32 to something like 8. If we save what we have to history, and then go ahead and take another render, we can see that our reflections now call a little less attention to themselves, which in my opinion is a slight improvement over what we had previously. V-Ray Express then, despite the fact that it requires a separate download and install from the Chaos Group website, is well worth the marginal time and effort that will be required in order to get that done.